times The Simpsons predicted the future.
The Simpsons is warning us about this Bible event.
You've probably heard the conspiracy theory that The Simpsons can predict everything about the future, so here's the whole tea on the rumor and how they do it.
Ask Google about The Simpsons' predictions of the future.
The Simpsons isn't just for laughs. It feels like they have a secret window into the future. They've been right about so many things, like a big sickness in 2020 and Kamala Harris becoming a big leader. Now, with 2024 on the horizon, their predictions are getting a lot of attention. They've got some wild ideas for 2024, and if their past predictions are anything to go by, we should probably pay attention. This has got some people excited and others a bit worried. How does a cartoon predict real-life events? Is it just good guessing, or is there more to it? Diving into the Simpsons world for 2024 predictions, we're on the lookout for surprises that could really happen. It's a mix of fun and a bit of controversy as we wonder, what's next? Let's explore these predictions and see what might be in store for us. It seems like they've pulled it off once more, and this time around, it's all centered around Apple's latest dazzling gadget, the Vision Pro VR headset. Honestly, it feels as if they possess some sort of magic orb or something over there in Springfield. So let's create a mental image. Cast your minds back to 2016 to an episode titled Friends and Family, where Mr. Burns, that incredibly wealthy character known for his malevolent chuckle, introduces the Simpson family to an advanced piece of technology, a virtual reality headset. And can you imagine? This device is a dead ringer for Apple's Vision Pro. The resemblance is remarkable. This particular episode plunges the Simpson family into a thrilling escapade brought on by the headset, resulting in utter mayhem, mirroring the current public frenzy over the Vision Pro. Picture people wandering about, completely engrossed in their virtual realms. It's both amusing and slightly peculiar to witness life-echoing fiction in such a manner. Devotees of the show and technology enthusiasts are abuzz with discussions about how The Simpsons managed to predict yet another technological advancement. However, it's important to note that not everyone is thrilled with the Vision Pro. There are complaints regarding its size and heft, likening it to wearing a miniature television on one's face. Quite uncomfortable, don't you think? And here's an interesting tidbit. The Simpsons seemed to allude to this inconvenience as well. They consistently seem to be one step ahead. While Homer's narrative involves some surprising elements, such as discovering metal rods in his body, it parallels the ongoing scientific endeavor to decipher the mysteries of aging. Scientists are tirelessly searching for innovative treatments that might one day render aging a matter of choice rather than an inevitable fate. Envision a world where signs of aging are optional, where every reflection shows the vibrant vigor of youth. As science progresses, the distinction between fiction and reality grows fainter, leaving us to ponder, might immortality eventually become achievable? Shifting our gaze to what the future might hold for education, consider the possibility of Mrs. Crabapple's successor being a robot. The Simpsons explored this idea by introducing robotic educators at Springfield Elementary. Though it may seem like a leap into the realm of fantasy, this notion is gradually becoming more plausible. Technological advancements in AI and robotics are transforming the educational landscape, with robots already beginning to assist in teaching and administrative duties. The concept of being taught by a robot may seem strange at present, but as technology advances, it could become an accepted aspect of learning. Imagine a time when robots customize education to fit each student's learning pace and preferences, making the educational experience more interactive and personalized than ever before. Recall the episode where Lisa's fiancé uses a smartwatch back in 1995? At the time, it appeared to be a whimsical, improbable idea. Fast forward to the present, and smartwatches have become ubiquitous, keeping us connected, monitoring our health, and aiding in our daily activities. It's as though the show had a preview of the technological revolution, suggesting a future where our watches accomplish far more than merely displaying time. This prediction showcases The Simpsons' remarkable knack for identifying trends before they surface, making us wonder about other future technological marvels they've hinted at. And then there's the episode venturing into the realm of 3D printed food. Marge stumbles upon a restaurant that prints its meals, completely overturning our traditional concepts of cooking and dining. While it may sound like a scenario straight out of a sci-fi novel, the reality is that 3D food printing is gaining momentum, poised to alter our culinary practices. Imagine a future where crafting complex, tailor-made dishes is as easy as hitting a print button, ushering in a world of culinary creativity that could redefine our dining experience. Now, what about Homer's dream of engaging in agriculture on the moon? Although it may come across as a fanciful concept fit for an animated series, actual scientists are earnestly examining the feasibility of cultivating food in space and on other celestial bodies. With experiments in progress to assess the viability of growing crops in alien conditions, the aspiration for space agriculture is slowly becoming more tangible. Visualize a future where astronauts and potentially colonists cultivate their own crops on the moon or Mars, facilitating a sustainable human presence in space. The Simpsons has done more than just entertain us. It has launched our imaginations into the potential realms of science and technology, sparking curiosity and wonder about the unexplored frontiers. From the pursuit of eternal youth to the futuristic classrooms, wearable technology on our wrists, the evolution of food preparation, and the adventurous concept of farming beyond Earth, the series paints a picture of possibilities that blur the line between fantasy and the potential realities of tomorrow. The idea of stopping aging isn't just a scientific breakthrough, it's a whole can of worms when it comes to the tough questions about right and wrong, who gets to live a long life, and how much money people might pay for it. Think about a place where how old you are doesn't limit what you can do or how you look. And with robots starting to do jobs that people used to do, it's time to really think about what work will be like in the future and how we learn things. Could robots make school better, or would they take away the personal touch that helps students feel inspired and cared for? As people start wearing smartwatches and looking into making food with 3D printers, it's getting hard to tell where the line is between our tech gadgets and our regular lives. These changes make us dream about a world where tech is just a normal, helpful part of everything we do, making our lives better in ways we're just starting to figure out. Then, there's the wild idea of growing food on the moon or other planets. This isn't just about farming in new places, it's about imagining humans living and thriving in space. It makes us ask big questions about what else we can do out there and how far we can go with exploring and creating new things. It's pretty amazing how The Simpsons keeps guessing the future right, from the newest gadgets to big changes in society. It's like they have a special line straight to what's coming up next. It really makes you think, how do they do it? Are they just throwing wild guesses out there? Or is someone on their team able to travel through time? Whatever their secrets, it's got us all paying attention, waiting to see what they'll predict next. Now, have you ever thought that maybe the people making The Simpsons are using some kind of magic or have a secret crystal ball? Because their ability to predict the future is just mind-blowing. It's like they've got a special connection to what's going to happen, and it has everyone talking and wondering how they managed to do it time and time again. But get this, they've really outdone themselves lately. They've predicted Trump's 2024 presidential run. Yes, that's right, Donald Trump, a name that brings up a lot of feelings for many people, announced he's running for president again on November 15th, 2022, aiming to shake things up once more. And guess what? The Simpsons had a hint about this happening way back in 2015. Al Jean, one of the creative brains behind the show, pointed out a scene where Homer passes a sign that says Trump 2024. They were way ahead of everyone else, making this call before Trump was even president the first time. This has sent fans and those who love a good conspiracy theory into a tailspin, trying to figure out the show's secret to predicting the future. Guessing tech trends or social changes is one thing, but calling out political moves like this is something else entirely. It has folks all over the web asking if they're just making lucky guesses or if there's something more going on. Whether it's some incredibly good guessing, a writer who can travel through time, or just some sort of magic luck, it's definitely impressive and maybe a bit spooky. Let's dive into the wild concept of AI and robots taking over jobs. Picture this. In a certain episode, Homer loses his job to a robot because his boss thinks robots are the future. Ladies and gentlemen, meet your new bosses. With all the tech advancements these days, the idea of robots taking over our jobs doesn't seem too out there anymore. Robots are already doing a bunch of jobs around the globe. It's super interesting, but also kind of worrying too. Are we moving towards a future where humans aren't needed for work? While we hope The Simpsons got this one wrong, it's something to think about. And now, for the sci-fi fans, moving to Mars. That's right, The Simpsons tackled this too. In one episode, Lisa and her family decide to become Martians, and by 2051, you've got Marge and Lisa living it up on Mars. This sounds like something Elon Musk would dream up, right? He's all about getting people to live on Mars, and the show's timeline is suspiciously similar to his real-life plans. Is this just a coincidence, or did The Simpsons get a tip from someone out of this world? It's one of those mysteries that keeps us guessing. But what about something totally unexpected and weird? Eating in virtual reality. You're wearing a VR headset and you start eating snacks that aren't really there. Sounds kind of odd, doesn't it? Well, in a funny TV show, there's this couple, Homer and Marge, who are shown enjoying some fake fudge in a virtual world. It may sound like just a funny idea from the show, but guess what? People who make tech stuff are actually trying to make our experiences of eating food more interesting with virtual reality. They've created something called the AOP Banquets RMX, which is supposed to give you a super unique eating experience, but it's all digital. It's a completely new way to think about enjoying food, and it makes us wonder if the TV show was really predicting the future. Now, let's talk about a baby translator. Have you ever looked at a baby and wondered what those cute little sounds they make actually mean? There's an episode in the same TV show where a character, Homer, uses a special gadget to understand exactly what his baby, Maggie, is saying as if she's speaking English. It's a funny idea, but now some smart people are actually working on making a real gadget that uses artificial intelligence to figure out what babies are trying to say when they cry. It's not ready yet, but imagine if by 2024 we could really understand babies thanks to a tip from a popular TV show. In one special Halloween episode of the show from 2008, there's a story where Homer Simpson tries to vote for Barack Obama, but the voting machine keeps messing up and chooses John McCain instead. While it's meant to be funny, it actually brings up a serious issue about voting machines not working right or even being tampered with. This has been a real problem in elections around the world, causing a lot of worry and debate about whether our votes are really safe. The show makes us think about whether it was predicting that technology might not always be trustworthy when it comes to important stuff like voting. In another episode from 2011, there's a hilarious mistake where a text message that was supposed to say, "I'll always love you, Megan," ends up being sent as, "I am gay, Marge," because of autocorrect. This joke actually hits close to home because so many of us have had weird or funny mistakes happen because of autocorrect on our phones. It shows that the show was pretty spot on about how technology, even when it's trying to help us, can lead to some pretty funny mix-ups. In a 2007 episode, one of the characters, Lisa, has a scary moment with a tiger while at a wildlife reserve. This cartoon moment actually points to real-life issues of humans and wild animals, like tigers, coming into contact with each other. In real places like India and Bangladesh, there have been true stories of people encountering tigers, which raises important questions about wildlife conservation and how we share our space with animals. The show gets us thinking about how we live alongside nature and the unexpected challenges that come with it. In 2010, an episode called Elementary School Musical shows Lisa Simpson winning the Nobel Prize in Economics, which is a pretty big deal. Even though it's just a story, it reflects the real excitement and honor of the Nobel Prize, which is given to people who've made amazing discoveries or contributions. The show's mention of the Nobel Prize makes us admire people's achievements and reminds us that pursuing knowledge and greatness can lead to remarkable things. It suggests that the show is not just making jokes, but also celebrating human potential and achievement. Now, in a 1998 episode, there's a funny conversation where Ron Howard, playing himself, jokes about 20th Century Fox, a division of Walt Disney Company. Back then, it seemed like just a silly idea, but years later, it actually happened when Disney acquired 20th Century Fox. This joke turned out to be a prediction of how big entertainment companies might come together in the future. It shows that sometimes, even the most off-the-cuff remarks in a TV show can hint at big changes in the world of movies and TV. Jump to the year 2019, and what felt like a story straight out of a fantasy book happened in real life. Disney buying 21st Century Fox was like a major plot twist that you'd see in cartoons or superhero movies. This wasn't just any deal, it was like two giant worlds of stories, characters, and creativity deciding to live under the same roof. Imagine all the heroes and tales we've grown up loving, now part of a huge family that has the power to shape what we watch on screens, big and small. This merging was a big deal for more reasons than just business. It meant that all these creative minds from both companies now had a bigger playground to dream up new stories. It's like opening a magical book and finding out the stories go on forever, with endless possibilities for adventure, laughter, and drama. Did The Simpsons, that funny cartoon show, really predict such a huge thing in the world of movies and TV? It turns out their jokes had some truth to them, making us wonder about the thin line between making up stories and predicting the future. Back in 2012, there was an episode of The Simpsons where they joked about Greece being in a huge economic mess. They talked about the country running out of money, prices going crazy, and people protesting in the streets. It sounded like a wild exaggeration, the kind of thing you'd laugh at because it's a cartoon. But fast forward a bit, and Greece was actually facing those very problems. In 2015, things got really serious with Greece almost not being able to pay back money it owed, and the situation looked a lot like the chaos the show had joked about. This tough time for Greece felt like a story from their ancient myths, a journey full of challenges, wisdom to be found, and the strength of the human spirit. It was a reminder of how stories from the past, like those of heroes and epic battles, aren't so different from what we face today. The struggles Greece went through made us think of the old ruins and legends, showing us that every generation has its battles, but also its paths to finding light in the darkness. The Simpsons has this way of mixing humor with bits of truth that sometimes turn out to be spot on. It's fascinating to think about how a show known for laughs could hint at real-world events before they happen. It makes you want to dive deeper into how stories, even the funny ones, might have layers of meaning that connect with bigger truths about our world. In an episode from 2000, The Simpsons showed us a glimpse of a future where Lisa Simpson becomes president after President Trump. This was just a part of their story, but it's interesting to think about how this joke from the show could hint at real events years before they happen. It's like The Simpsons has a way of looking into the future, making us question how stories and reality can sometimes blur together, showing us hints of what's to come in our own journeys. In 2016, when Donald Trump became the 45th president of the United States, it felt like a story straight out of a TV show had come to life. It was a moment where the lines between the entertainment world and the serious business of running a country blurred. The Simpsons, a show known for its sharp wit and ability to capture the essence of American culture, had hinted at this unlikely scenario years before it happened. This prediction made people sit up and take notice, wondering how a series famous for its comedic take on life could so accurately touch upon a future political reality. This surprising turn of events opens up a conversation about the power of storytelling and its impact on our perception of reality. The episode in question didn't just make headlines because it was an uncanny prediction, it also sparked a deeper reflection on the dynamics of American politics and the role of media in shaping our understanding of what's possible. It raises intriguing questions. How can a cartoon, known for making us laugh and think, mirror the complexities of political life in the US? The path that led Donald Trump from being a character in a satirical cartoon to taking office in the White House is a narrative that intersects with the American dream in unexpected ways. It's a story that encompasses themes of ambition, the element of surprise, and the fluid nature of leadership and power. This journey challenges us to reconsider what we dream is unlikely or far-fetched, revealing the thin veil between the stories we enjoy on screen and the realities we experience. Trump's presidency, as foreseen by The Simpsons in a moment of what seemed like lighthearted fun, played out against a series of significant historical events and cultural shifts. His time in office was marked by intense debate and strong reactions from all sides of the political spectrum, highlighting the unpredictable and often divisive nature of politics in America. It served as a reminder of the influence that public figures can wield, capturing the attention and stirring the emotions of people across the nation and beyond. This episode from The Simpsons not only showcased the show's uncanny ability to tap into the zeitgeist, but also encouraged us to think about the relationship between fiction and reality. It showed us how stories, even those meant to entertain or provoke laughter, can reflect deeper truths about our society, our hopes, and our fears. The conversation it ignited about the role of media, entertainment, and satire in our political discourse is a testament to the show's enduring relevance and its capacity to engage with serious issues in a way that is both accessible and thought-provoking. As we reflect on the significance of Trump's presidency and its place in the broader narrative of American history, we're reminded of the power of narrative to influence our perception of leaders and the course of our country. This blend of entertainment and reality invites us to explore the myriad ways in which our culture and political landscapes intersect, urging us to consider how the stories we tell in our media can sometimes predict or even shape the future. It's a compelling reminder of the role that creativity and imagination play in our understanding of the world, challenging us to remain open to the lessons that can be learned from the unexpected and the seemingly improbable. But here's what gets people talking. If a cartoon can predict the future, are we paying enough attention to what's going on? Are we learning from it? It makes you wonder, are we watching just for laughs, or are we seeing the hints and doing something about it? That's where the debate is. Some people say it's just a show, nothing to worry about, but others think maybe we should listen more and look for messages in those jokes. So, with The Simpsons showing us bits of the future, what's going to surprise us next? Are we just going to watch, or are we going to try to find the real messages in those jokes? It's a big adventure, guessing what's coming and maybe feeling a bit nervous about what joke is going to be real next. And if you're into figuring out what The Simpsons might show us about our wild world next, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. What do you think they'll guess right next time? Leave a comment and let's talk about it.